Welcome to Amigos Pod, where creativity meets business. On this podcast, we have the mission to help other creators to learn, grow their business, and learn from other creators' mistakes. And for today's episode, the fourth episode of Amigos Pod, we have my good friend here, Tim. I know Tim for quite a while. We have a business together. We are good friends. So today's episode gonna be a lot of good information. So stick around to know a little bit more about Tim and his story on the creative industry, which is something you don't want to miss. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So Tim, tell me a little bit about you, and for people out there who don't know you, who is Tim?
Who is Tim? Well, Tim is he can't really decide who he is, I guess, because he's done pretty much everything you can imagine, from especially when it comes to work, like starting out with photography and videography very late. I went through like my early 20s, mid 20s, working at different big companies as an employee.
A normal work?
What?
A normal work?
Yeah, just normal work, selling everything from phone subscriptions to clothing to sitting back office and punching orders for sponsor. Yeah, it's like boring, really boring compared to what we do now, at least. So I've been doing a lot. So I guess I'm a kind of guy that having a hard time figuring out, like, I just don't want to do this and then do this for a little bit. Okay, I want to do this, now I want to do this. And
Always changing, yeah.
Always changing.
But what are you doing now?
Now I'm going to stick to the content creation,
Yes.
photo, video. Yeah, so I'm going to stick to it, but probably going to have a hard time to like niche down on one specific niche, because I do a little bit of this and I go, oh, this was a lot of fun. Something else pops up. And we could be at an event and I can do some sports. Like both things are. I just want to do everything because it's fun, not because of the money or anything else. It's just like, okay, today I want to. This sounds like a lot of fun. I'm gonna go for it. And also, I think because I love meeting new people. So if I was only to do like just sports or just this or just that, I would probably start meeting the same people and not meet so many new people, at least since Norway is kind of small. So I think that's probably why I think it's fun to like do a little bit of everything, because it's the people that make it fun, not necessarily the niche itself, but all the people that we meet along the way.
Nice. So we're gonna get a little bit more into the niche part afterwards, but I want to get a little bit into like, when did you get the camera from the first time? Because I know you for a while. I know you kind of start a bit late compared to what people normally start.
Yeah.
So when did you kind of discover your passion for photography and content creation in general?
Oh, the passion started early. I think we was like primary school, ungdomsskole.
How old were you?
How old were we? Between 14 and 16. I think that's when we go to the primary school.
Mm-hmm.
So then I started out. I had this old, it's called Sony Ericsson.
The phone?
The phone. The brand doesn't even exist anymore because they got knocked out by Apple and all this other crazy things. But I started out. I don't remember the exact model, but I remember it was small and red, so it had a red edge, and I could pop the top off.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And then the camera was hidden beneath, so you could just do like this, and you had the camera for a photo or video hidden in the phone. Mm-hmm. It was really, really dope.
And that's when you started?
That's kind of when I started. Then I was like filming me and my friends who were riding the bicycles, like doing wheelies on the road, you know, where the car was, and like feeling it a little bit badass. Or just like jumping downstairs, and we've probably seen like, I don't know, some sports channel, or it could be MTV or music videos. I don't know where we picked that up, but we were out riding bicycles. I was filming with the phone. Then I went home, edited the video. We posted it on, I don't know what we had back then, Facebook maybe. So it's kind of around there. I did that, and also I started downloading ski movies from YouTube and chopping them up and editing into my owns, and then upload them again
back to YouTube.
Back to YouTube.
So you started more with the editing kind of before.
Yeah,
creating
it started
things
with the
yourself.
editing because don't think when I started editing, I don't even think I had a phone. I remember the PC I was using was this really old computer. I think the screen was like this big one. It has like a big back.
The long one.
Yeah, the long ones. The mouse had like a ball inside. So that's how it worked. It had a cable. For those of you guys don't know, you know what a cable is. It had a cable, and then it had a ball inside the mouse who rolled. So when you do, that's how the mouse worked. So there's no laser, nothing like this that you have today. So the equipment was old. I think that computer probably took like 4 minutes just to boot up.
So that's a different process than it is nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But then, okay, so then you start at primary school, doing like things with the phone, chopping videos on YouTube, and then you took kind of like a break from the content creation side and went to normal like work before you get the camera again.
No, actually, we went to like primary school, and then you have high school, where I went to studied what's called media and communication.
Yeah.
So I was doing video and photo for maybe like 6 years, 3 years of primary school and 3 years of high school. So through that period, I did everything all the time. That was kind of the passion then. And when I finished high school, I was going into the military, and then I was supposed to be there for like 1 year.
At the military?
Yeah, at the military, yeah. And then I ended up somewhere. It was like shit. I didn't do anything. I was spending 3 hours at the gym and picking up kebab for the guys, the security guys.
Yes.
So I was only there for only stationed out for a brief time, and it gave me nothing. I could watch 3 seasons of a series in 1 week when I was supposed to be at work because I wanted to drive some letters or something that was classified, but in these days they don't even send letters, so there was nothing to do for me other than to go get food for the other guys.
So you didn't enjoy the military?
No,
as much.
that was a really bad experience, and I managed to get out of it, to quit, and that was kind of hard because I had to
do it,
to figure out a way to get out of it as well, and then you kind of have like. I did only serve like the 50% of what you're supposed to do. So it's kind of like when you quit that one, you didn't make it. So it was kind of like a little hit to your self-esteem as well. And then had some time off and went on a holiday actually to Thailand to visit a friend of mine who was doing wakeboard. And on that trip, actually, I had a GoPro. And we vlogged every day.
That's when you kind of get the passion
back. Yeah, that was a little bit back because I vlogged with the GoPro. We put out a short, I think it was a 1 minute vlog, 2 minute vlog every day on YouTube for like 7 or 8 days. So we should probably just have to stick to that one because then we would probably be somewhere else today.
Yeah, for sure.
But because that was early, that was back in like 2000 and I think it's like 14
right
maybe.
In the beginning when
right
things
in the
start
beginning. So we should just have pumped that one. But it ended with those vlogs.
It was a 7 and only vlogs.
Only 7. And then we came back to after holiday. And then I got a job. Then I started working for the Dress, which is this big firm. It was so close to the
But not as a
graduations.
content creator, right?
No.
It's still like...
That's when... That was probably 2015. And from 2015, then I was selling clothes, worked there for like 4.5, 5 years. Quit that one because there was no the ladder was climbed. There was no more ladder to climb to
you were
for
kind
your
of the
career.
top.
Yeah. So then I was trying to find because that job was really nice. It was freedom. It was fun. Met a lot of new people. So I was trying to find a new job that kind of gave me the same like freedom as well as to be like the selling thing that was a lot of fun. So I tried for a while to find like the next russedress,
Mhm.
just in a different niche.
Mhm.
So, but I ended up on a different path. I worked in the what you call this? They do building things.
Yes.
In construction.
Construction.
Yeah, in construction as a project manager, and and a couple other stops. And the last one I had was at Craft.
Mhm.
So it's this sport brand. Now I was thinking that maybe this, because I really enjoy sport myself,
Mhm.
and I think that okay, maybe this could maybe be it.
Mhm.
But it was a back office job, so unfortunately for me, it was too much, like from 8 in the morning to 4 in the evening, with little to no room for like coming early,
Mhm.
leaving early, come late, work late.
But
So it
there,
was
were you still creating anything,
still
content or anything? No, nothing.
nothing. So from 2014, maybe after the trip to Thailand, then there was no more creating
Into
until probably 4 or 5 years, so 2018, 19 maybe.
Mhm.
Then I started to vlog a little bit again because I had watched John Olsen on YouTube.
Mm.
Kept watching him from like day one, and got really inspired to see what those
he
guys
was
were
doing.
doing. And started to vlog a little bit myself, but I didn't feel like my life was exciting enough
For
for
vlogging,
life. Yeah. So it was a little bit of struggle. So I quit that. Then went a couple more years and without creating
Mhm.
pretty much anything, and quit the job at Craft because it was not for me.
Mhm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this. And I thought about doing this videography for a
Mm.
while again, and I thought like, okay, you know what? I'd saved up a lot of money, so I could actually like spend a lot of my savings
Mhm.
for like it's okay. So I give myself 1 year, the first year, and I'll see how that goes. And I know that I can use from my savings this year
You're trying to make it
to
happen.
try to make it. And if I'm even just like making break, if I even break even just
Mhm.
this year, I'll do another year,
Mhm.
and then we'll just kind of like go for there, and we see
How far you can
how
go.
far we can go, how long we can keep this thing going. And it actually went great.
Now I can say that.
Yeah, now I can say, but
So
it was a lot of work. So.
that's a good thing, because even though you were not working into the creative industry, you kind of learn from the other jobs that you had that you kind of needed a plan. You could not just throw everything away, right? And then
Yeah.
go try the content creation and lifestyle freelance. But you kind of save up the money and then gave yourself a year. And then after that year, you found out that, yes, I
This
can
is-
make it happen, right?
Yeah.
But how old were you when you kind of like gave yourself the chance to try?
Oh, I was I was 28, almost 29.
It's 29.
Yeah.
So that's not like normally nowadays people start quite early,
Yeah,
right?
you know, at least what you see on like social media is always about how, or look at this guy, he's 16 and he's shooting like the Olympics.
Mhm.
And you just think that you're 25 and think, oh, this guy started 9 years ahead of me.
Mhm.
So I should just stick to the boring thing I do today because it's too late.
You have no
But
chance.
it's never too late. You can always start, do something new. You just got to put a lot of work into it.
100%.
Because when I started, and like 3-4 years ago now, in my late 20s, I worked a lot. Like for the
Yes.
first year, I probably worked a lot more than I've done last year, and I earned maybe like a half of what I did last year. So my revenue the first year was half of my last year, but I worked at least twice as much first year as I did the last year. So you got to put in a lot of work because you're like starting late. So, and I did study like media and communication in high school, but that's what is it now? 12 years ago, 13, 14 years ago.
Outdated.
Yeah, it's a bit outdated. So everything I learned today, or everything I learned as I started, I learned through like YouTube, Instagram, looking at reels, looking at tutorials. So instead of like when I was eating dinner home, I could sit down on the couch. Instead of like watching a series on Netflix, I pulled up YouTube and how to do this, how to do that, cameras, equipments, and sports and real estate and everything.
So you are a self-taught guy pretty much
pretty
for
much
everything, yeah?
Yeah.
Because I remember it was probably right after Corona, you were making the transition from your full-time job to being a freelance. You sent me a message and then you kind of helped me out in some shoots.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then I think you also did the same with other people. So you were kind of like putting yourself out there, right? To try to make that transition.
Yeah.
But when was the point that you realized like, okay, I can actually make a living out of it. I'm going to continue doing it. Was 1 year after or was it even before?
I think it was. I think I realized after like year one, because then I saw because I also saw that these things goes really up and down from month to month, and that when July came, for example, it was like completely dead, or like after working like 300 hours in December, you see that January, February, it was like dead again. So basically, that it was at least
Up
for
and down.
me and my clients, it was really up and down. It was like first after like a whole year, I could see like how much is actually
Like the total revenue.
yeah, the total revenue, and I was like, okay, this
works.
this works. Like this amount of money, this is I have to be able to live of this. But you know, the more you earn, the more you spend.
Yeah,
and you get
100%.
like comfortable. 'Cause it's hard to like just start spending money. It's hard to like go down again.
Yeah.
It's like but how everything costs so much suddenly.
Yeah, and it keeps
It
costing
keeps
more
going,
and more,
yeah,
right?
more and more.
And that's the thing because when you started, you were at a level that I remember we met really early. So you were at a level, and I remember that you were kind of undercharging yourself a lot. And that's like you say, you were working a lot and not earning enough. When the year later, you work much less and you still earn much more.
Yeah.
So how did you do to kind of learn how to price yourself afterwards? Like, because you were quite cheap for what you could provide to your client. So when or what's happened that kind of you shift your mindset?
Well, I think obviously I met a lot of other guys and girls in the same industry, like for your example, and also probably during the first year, kind of building the self-esteem to like understand that okay, this is actually good, because when you do one project and then send it over to the client, and there's always something like I should have done a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and you're always like never 100% satisfied because you always want to do more. But it's actually more than 100% to the clients. But by the time you can post this work, because the client has to post it first, then you've done something else that's better, and you feel that this is not good enough. So it just keeps on going and going like a circle,
A loop, yeah.
yeah. So, but it was definitely when meeting other people in the industry and figuring out what other people were charging. And when I saw what they were delivering, I realized that, well, mine is just as good,
yeah.
or sometimes even better. So I should be able to charge this as well. And it kind of just grew from there. So, like for example, this year we try to like not stay below a certain amount when it comes to shoot, unless there is like a client that's come back to us every single time. Then of course we can do like small things, but try to do like a little bit bigger projects. It takes like a little bit more effort, a little bit more time than doing so many small things.
Understood. And that's that's also kind of resume what you say about making more and working less, right?
Yeah.
Because instead of doing 10 projects and charging 1,000 per project, you do one project and charge 10.
Yeah.
Right. So you kind of like earn the same, but work less.
Yeah.
That's a good
less,
business model as well.
Yeah. Work less, or maybe work or like the same amount, but on one project. So kind of make me maybe feel like you're working less because you don't have to change so many things or so many projects.
Yeah. And since you start quite late, like 28 years old, right? It's not a easy thing to kind of like jump into a market which is already crowded with a lot of people doing things with their phones, or everyone could think they are a creator for doing. And sometimes they just doing for fun and could mess it up the industry as well. How did you do to kind of put yourself out there and start getting your clients?
So it was actually like one of my first clients is a client that we have been working with since, Sebastian Solberg.
He's the influencer,
Is
right?
the influencer, yeah. So it was definitely lucky that I met him when I did, and he posted to his social. He needed a guy or a girl to like help him film and campaign with I think it was Carlings, and he was going to do it at Sandvika Storsenter. And he just saw this story, and I just replied to it, say, "Hey, I can help you out." And I said, "Oh, cool, you can come. We can see how this works, and if we're a good fit, maybe we can do more." So that was actually when I was like, then I was still working at Craft when I reached out to him. So and then I helped him, and he was really happy. And he also said like, you just quit that other job. You don't need that. You can do this. I can.
So he was the one kind of pushing you as well, right?
He was pushing me to, because he was like, I can see that this is you could do this. You can live off of this, and it can be something great. So he definitely pushed me out of the job as well. And then I met him, and then I started working with him. And he's a guy that when you're around him, he knows like everyone. You can't go anywhere else. He's greeting even if he knows them, or maybe he just like talk. He's really
outgoing.
Yeah, he's really
person,
outgoing.
Yeah.
So, and wherever you are, he's like telling. He greets some people and says, "Oh, you have to meet this guy. You have to meet Tim. He's my photographer. If you need anything, you gotta contact him. He's really great." So he's just like started pushing as well.
So he was not like your mentor, but it was kind of like your manager in kind of way, like introducing you to everyone.
Yeah, so that's why I did things or still do things for him at a really, really good price. And he has a lot of value besides like the money aspect. He's also become a really good friend. So like he brings so much more to me. I can see that from the years we're working together. So many jobs has come through him. And if you take like the money that we made of all the other jobs that came through him, he's actually paying really well.
Yeah.
But the amount that comes directly from him, that's pretty
so
low.
He could be like a middleman, right?
Yeah, something like that. So, and that kind of like just took off from there.
So he was your first ever like paid client kind of thing.
Yeah, I would say.
And then things start to go in.
Yeah, then it started. So we worked a lot with him, and then it just kind of like came another one and another one and another one. And then suddenly when someone has seen you, because he was like posting on social media that I was working with him, and when people have seen that, oh, if he can use this guy, then we can definitely use him as well, because that's kind of like what you call it, like guarantee that he's good. Yeah. So it kind of just like took off from there.
So in the beginning, you work with Sebastian, which is an influencer, right? So then kind of you automatically was thrown into like influencer marketing. So you were working more and more with because you also then start, because at the time Sebastian were at the agency, Eccentric, right?
Yeah.
And then you start to work with Eccentric through Sebastian and also all the other influencers. So you became like the go-to guy for the influencers that were at Eccentric. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So we started like working. He kind of pitched me into Eccentric, and then I started working with them. I still do today. I was there like yesterday. I was there yesterday doing a shoot. So we still work with them, and now we're invited to their like Christmas table, and just become like
good
more
friends,
more than just like, it's not just a client work relationship. It's more than that. So it started there, and then just started working with those influencers, and then those influencers posted as well that I was there working, and then there's a brand seeing that, and then
started
started. And also I had done a lot of like free work.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I met you the first time, and you was to shoot in Tryvann with Sebastian, the alpine skier. And I don't remember if you said you needed help or if I said if I could help you if you ever needed help.
Yeah, that was you said.
And then I was there. I had the dog was sitting in the car while we
remember,
was out shooting. Don't worry, I got a Tesla, so I just put on dog mode. We went into the slope, shoot. I don't know how many hours we were there, but
we were. It was a really fun shoot,
and it was cold.
I know.
So unless I do like free gigs, sort of, but whenever I do something cheap or free, it's always it's not just
lead
to do
somewhere. Right?
It was always a thought about it could be potentially leading to something else, and that's also because I've seen how that it actually work. So now if there's something, if like I want to go down to another niche, I want to do sports or fashion or something, I could do the same. And whenever you post it or the client post it, there's no one knows how much you got paid or if you paid at all. The only two people knowing that is yourself and the client. So if you do something for free for this client, there can come another big brand and say, "Oh, this was really good." He was like, "Yeah, this cost like 50,000," but they don't know if that you actually did
the first one was free.
Yeah, the first one's for free, then you're hooked.
Exactly. And that's a good thing as well for like people watching or listening. This shoot that Tim mentioned now, he came, helped me out, and you need to also think about that it goes both ways, because you were there for helping me out, also to kind of learn and have fun on that day. But in the same time, I was kind of like checking you out, right? To see like, okay, how good this guy are, because in the future, if I need something and I can't go, that's the guy I'm gonna call, because I work with him. I know he's nice and I know he can provide a good quality content. So whenever you reach out to me or someone watching, listening, want to reach out to someone, it's always really nice that you deliver, but you're also a nice person, because this guy can call you again. And the funny story is that you helped me so many times for free, and then I start to give you jobs to get paid. Years later, now you give me jobs because you can't, right? So you never know what this thing gonna lead. So I think it's really important for people, don't be afraid to try, but also behave while you're doing things for free, because it's not just because it's free that you can, that's free, that's whatever, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
And like you behave really well, like you were a professional, you did your job, you were a nice guy to hang out with. So every other shoot, if I knew I could use extra help or I couldn't do it, I could call you. And then the same went for you, right? Because nowadays you can't do jobs, you call me like, "Hey Pedro, can you do that for me?" So that's the same for the people listening or watching, that try it, do it for free, but behave.
yeah, definitely behave. So guys, that's kind of like, I probably learned that since I've been an employee for so many years before I started for myself. I have been through good bosses and terrible bosses, and I've like seen them all, good and bad. So I also know that I know how I myself would like to have it. If so, like for now, if we just, let's say we have a big project, a big event, for an example, and I said, "Pedro, I need your help." I know how I would like to behave to you, so that you also want to do that. That feel like when you're at work, you feel you are valued and treated nice, so that you also would come back to me next time I need you. And as you say, it was also to go vice versa. If you felt that you joined me on a cool project and you felt that that was a great leader on that project, you would also, like, if you need help, you would call me, because you like not just working together, but like hanging out, having fun,
For sure.
and also do the work. And since we all, as for now, work in like usually pretty small teams, like I think the biggest team I worked with, we were probably around, maybe we were 10 videographers and photographers. That's still small. So then everyone needs to like be on the same page. Everyone needs to kind of like be friends, and to so that things doesn't go south. I think that being employed for so many years has learned me a lot, so that I know how to behave when I'm when I'm actually working,
Mm-hmm.
meeting new people.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whichever job I do or who it's for, even if I sometimes think, okay, this is terrible, this is bad. I always like do the best, always be nice, and just deliver. And whatever is, if there's something really ugly, you just take it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So don't do it when we're at the project, but we can debrief and talk about it later.
Mm-hmm.
So because the most important thing is like to deliver the best outcome to the client, even if it's shit.
Yeah.
Like the
And then
project.
you wash the dirty clothes at home.
Yeah, you wash them at home. Yeah, take it home to dinner and complain to your girlfriend.
For sure. But then how long would you say it took for you to go from freelance? The first year you decide, okay, I can actually leave from it. But when did you start to feel like comfortable and like, yes, I could say I'm a full-time freelancer now and I'm making a living out of it and I want to continue?
I think like, okay, so the first year I actually, so before I met you, and you are a Sony ambassador.
Mm.
So I was having a Canon. I had Canon for my entire life, and I think like maybe half a year before I met you, I just bought like a brand new Canon R6
Mm-hmm.
that had just came out, and I also bought like an three RF lenses.
Mm-hmm.
And then I met you, and I was like, "Oh, you told me about Sony." I was like, "Okay, just gotta swap then." So I just sold everything and just bought some new Sony equipment. So the first year was like there was a lot of income, but there was definitely a lot of what you call it, a lot of bills to pay.
Expenses.
Expensive, yeah, a lot of expenses. Like just brand new Canon and sold that one, and two new Sony cameras and
Sony,
yeah,
out there,
yeah,
right?
just know that one. So, but that was part of. I could do that because I had my savings.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, if you can say that this, you don't have to have the best gear to do good things, but it definitely helps. It definitely make the job easier.
For sure.
You see, like the first, we've done a lot of real estate videos, and then I look back and see the first one. I'm thinking, oh shit, did someone actually pay for that? Because
It was bad.
It was bad. It was not bad. It was terrible. It was dark and it was warm and it was just like, yeah, it was terrible. So, but yeah, so like the first year there was a lot of expenses and a lot of income. So like, and for year two, I actually started to be like more comfortable.
So I would say it took approximately 2 years,
2
for
years,
you to
yeah,
kind of like
2
be a
years.
full-time.
Yeah. But I never really like, since I had the savings, I didn't really stress if I had a month that was
Didn't
low.
make- yeah.
I was never really, wasn't really stressed because since I started, I haven't done much outreaching.
Mhm.
So I've been, like people just talk to each other and then it comes a new one and a new one and a new one. And when I was like, okay, when I've done all these projects now, I had to edit this. When I'm done with that, I'm going to reach out to this, to like have some brands I want to reach out to that I think, okay, but I've just had to deliver deliver first, and then I can reach out.
Mhm.
But then I deliver, and when I was like, okay, now I can reach out, then it comes a new one. So it's kind of been like that since the start. So it's been really lucky, kind of lucky that it's been like that. But also that means I haven't been able to reach out to, maybe I want to reach out to some fashion brands or sports brands, but I want to deliver to the clients, and I'm a guy that obviously can't say no. So so whenever someone calls me, I'm like, yes, I can do that. I can do that. And I was looking like, let's see. Yeah, we had to do it on Sunday, but because I'm booked Monday to Saturday.
But you're still gonna.
But I can do it on Sunday. And I was like, fuck, I gotta edit all this shit.
But that's when that was my next point. I'm checking here my notes.
Your notes.
So you have always been smart as well to involve all the people around you, right? And that's when Henrik also came to be like a partner with you, and you guys start Anormal Studios, right? Is that your new business?
That's the new business.
So you went from being a solo freelance to now have this business with Henrik.
Yeah.
So when was the point that you were like, oh, this is too much, I need help? And then since you guys were close, you guys start this new company together. So after 2 years, you already had that in mind that you needed help, or
Yeah, somewhat, because that's I started to get so much work through Sebastian that didn't have. I had time frame, but he usually called me like the day before, and at some point I was like
Already
at
busy.
least for like a 2-3 weeks ahead of time. I had too much to do. So if he called me and we scheduled it, there will be no problem. But since he usually called me like the day before or the same day, it started to become a little bit difficult. And then he asked me, "Do you have someone you can send to me?" And it can be pretty much not anyone, but it needs to be someone that knows
That's
how to
good,
get
yeah.
around the camera and is also a nice person to hang out with, because it's just us two. And if we don't have like the same vibe,
Connection, yeah.
then, because I know we tried a lot of different photographers and
And
videographers
didn't
up in the
fit,
air,
yeah.
but me and Henrik now have been with him for many years. So there's something more than just being. We're not the best, but we're good and we're nice. So
That's
that
what
goes a long way.
We had 5 people at the moment, the podcast, and everyone is always pushing into the same thing, that you can be good, but if you're not nice, it becomes difficult to work.
Yeah.
So everyone is kind of like, who do you also say that being nice is as important or even more important than being good behind the camera?
Yeah, I think so, because there's so many good people out there now, and you can learn everything through YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or whatever. And basically, anyone who's the more technical guy you are, the easier it is to like do these crazy edits and all the things. So you can be like the best edit and best guy to like film and do something crazy, do crazy videos. But if you're not nice, then no one want to work with you, because then you had to be hired like through a production company who's so big that you don't have to
Doesn't
talk
matter,
to the
yeah.
client. You're just gonna shoot and edit, and there's someone
it.
else who has the client relation. Then it doesn't matter. But when we work as in such a small teams as we do, then you have to be nice.
Yeah, especially when it's 1-1. It's you and Sebastian in your
definitely.
case, so it's kind of like different. So you need to vibe quite well with the client. So sometimes as well, it might be that you're still nice, you just don't match with the client.
Then for sure.
It's difficult to continue. But so talking a little bit more about Anormal Studios, because like you say, you kind of still don't have a niche, but you do, right? You really like sports, that I know, but you kind of like was automatically thrown into the influencer community through Sebastian, right?
Yeah.
And you end up liking as well, because people are really nice at the end. So you would say your niche still is the influencer kind of community more than other stuff, or now with Anormal Studios, your new company, start to shifting a bit more around other industries? Or
so as I said, I didn't have enough time to Sebastian, and then I met Henrik actually through to just some random Kyle Meyer. He had this sometimes he hosted he brought a car, a nice Porsche from Porsche Center, I think it was Oslo. And then he was like, okay, we're going to meet up at some place in Oslo. Then there was just a bunch of different photographers there, just shooting for fun. And that's a place I met Henrik. And then I started talking to him through Instagram. And actually, he lives like 10 minutes away from me, and we're the same age. So we so we were like graduates at the same time. So I knew who he was. I had heard his name before, but we had never hung out and never talked to each other before we started talking on Instagram. And now it's like Sebastian said, okay, I need someone. Do you have anyone? I was like, who can I send? And then I also I am very picky if I'm going to send someone. If I send you, for instance, to a job that I'm really picky. I don't send anyone.
Yeah,
because I
you need to make sure.
I would like to do it myself to have control. But so when I actually am sending people, they are I'm really what you call it, really selvsikker.
Selvsikker.
Yeah.
Selvsikker.
Yeah, really
confidence.
I'm confident that they can deliver as good or even better than I can. And they're also nice.
Yeah, so that's important.
Yeah, that's important. So we started. So then he started working with Sebastian, got more and more work. He was working at a warehouse at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then at that time, I was like doing what Sebastian did to me. I was like, yeah, but you can do this. Yeah,
You were pushing him, like, yeah.
And then I tried to push him out of the warehouse. And eventually, last year when we started Normal Studios, he quit that job.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went on from there. And after we started the Normal Studios, and probably at the end of my second year, we started to get more and more like bigger events.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of also why I started bringing Henrik more and more. And at the time we had done so many big events together, I was like, why don't we just start a company together? Where first of all, it will look better to have like a studio or a Normal Studio to a production house to do, especially these type of events, like bigger events for bigger brands. It looks better, even if it's just like, or like you that are one. If you just have a brand that says like Lemos
like
Media,
a company, yeah,
Lemos Media sounds huge, but it can
you
still
say
be
Pedro
you.
Enrique Lopez Lemos. No one gonna hire this guy.
No one gonna hire this
Send
guy.
him back to Brazil.
So it just like it looks better, but it's actually it's the same guy, but it just looks better to like. If you're working for like we've been working for PwC, they're a little big like I don't know, they are lawyers and everything, and their revenue is like these billions of kroners.
They don't want to get like
they can't have like Tim Werner, the single guy sending them an invoice for 150,000.
Exactly.
It looks really strange.
Weird,
yeah.
Shady.
Who's washing money here? So
That's true.
yeah, so that's kind of also why we started it together. And since then, we've been doing more and more and more and more work that we have to be two on as well. So I'd say that we have shifted more from like the influencer to more like events and doing
so it's a bit 50-50 now, like influencer and events.
Still do the influencer, but not so much the influencer, the campaign videos maybe, but more bigger things, but still with influencer, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm still like, let's say the influencer has a sponsor and then they need a video for a campaign. Then that's when you kind of come in, not like a daily life, like small things you don't do anymore.
No, not so much. Then a bit here. We don't usually take new influencers either to work with unless unless they are an influencer in a niche that we would like to work. So, for instance, if there's a sports athlete or a fashion influencer, if they want to work, then we're open to work. But if there's someone who just for like if they've been on X on the Beach or Paradise Hotel, they're not our niche or not our type of clients. Then there are someone else that will be a better fit for them than us. So we choose if we're going to work with them, we work with the people that do the things that we also like to do.
Yeah, I think it's important as well not to try and shoot everywhere, right? So you need to kind of maybe try to find what makes you happy or the people that makes you happy on that case. Because I would say sometimes you could do maybe works with Sebastian that theoretically it's not the kind of work you wanted to do.
No.
But Sebastian is so nice that it just like helps, right? So the people you're filming or you're working with, sometimes it's probably much more than the work itself that you do.
Yeah, sometimes there is, for sure. So like take Sebastian for an example that there's a lot of things that we do with him that we were like, okay, if there were someone else, we wouldn't do this. But since it's you and we're friends and we have a good relationship
easier, right?
and you helped us and we want to help you and we still to this day help him out and he help us out. So then we can do things that is maybe out of our niche, but it's still a lot of fun because he's a lot of fun.
He's a fun
guy.
We need to bring him here.
Spend an hour with him and then that's
you understand.
That's a lot of fun.
And you also, as a part of Amigos Creative Space, so it's me, you, and Ai sitting behind the table producing the podcast. So us three together in the beginning with Henrik, which was also a part of the start of the beginning, but thanks to you, Henrik has so much work to do with Normal Studios, your company, that he had to step down. Kind of will build him up a little bit, and then he hopefully can come back in the future.
For sure.
But how was it?
See this open.
how was it for you to be a part of it, build Amigos together with me and Ai? For those who doesn't know, Amigos is a creative space in Oslo where we're trying to big a community where has been really good at it. I've been trying, Ai as well. So you being a part of it, and what you think about this place we created?
I think it's amazing, and you guys definitely you have put a lot more hours physically in here than me for sure.
But you're
but
the guy
I'm
behind the scenes that no
I'm the
one
guy
sees,
behind
huh?
the scenes. So like, if you need to, I'm the guy that if they want to buy something, they call me.
He
And
needs to call you. Tim is the accountant, so everything needs to be approved by him.
So, but I think we have done a really great job here, and see how if people have did we take any photos before we started?
Yes.
Okay, that's good, because if you see the photos before and now, it's like whoa, this is not the same office
sure.
or the creative space anymore that it was when we came in.
Definitely.
And I met some of the guys that's used to sit here before we took over, and then I showed him the video that Osman and Oliver made yesterday, and he's like, "Whoa, is that you guys have done a lot." It didn't look that did not look like that when I left.
he was working here.
And he was like, if you find some Hestra glows beige." I think I left them there. I was like, we have renovated the entire thing. So I can't say that I've seen them. So they're probably not here.
Trash, long time ago.
Or they're gone.
But what would you say, like, if you had a place like this when you started out, like in the beginning, when you didn't know many people and when making the transition, would a place like this help you out?
Yeah, for sure. Because in the start, I was working alone. This is lonely business. You work alone, you shoot alone, you shoot the client, there's just you two, and you go back home and you start edit. And at that time, when I started out, I was living alone. So I had a house. It was just me and occasionally my dog sometimes that I have. And then like it was us two, so it's really lonely. I don't think if I didn't have him occasionally, I would be like insane.
Depressed.
Yeah, depressed, because you sit there and I had like, so I live outside of Oslo. So it's, when I tell you that I have a house with 3 bedrooms, it sounds like you think I live in Oslo. So like, okay, I know where your savings went. But I'm living outside of Oslo, so it's cheap. But I had 3 bedrooms. I was sleeping in one, and I was supposed to use another one for my office. But I ended up sitting at the what you call the
living room?
Yeah, living room, at the dining table.
Mm-hmm.
Had my screen there. First I thought I was just with my Mac, then I bought a screen. I was sitting at just regular chairs, and I was working so much that I didn't have time to put the office together.
You had a space.
I had a space, but I didn't have the time to do it because I wanted to deliver to the client first and then do everything else. So at that time I didn't have holidays. I didn't have anything. I was working like pretty much 7 days a week and the whole year.
Yeah, I remember you were working like non-stop all the time.
Yeah.
So even though we start late, people listen, it's important to grind in the beginning, but like find the balance like you did after a while. It took some time.
Yeah.
But it's really important to take a break when you...
Yeah. Still working on a balance.
Yeah.
But, it's a lot. It's way better now than it was the first year, for
but
sure.
I think as well, because now you have met so many people that, like you say, you just send people around.
Yeah.
So before you didn't know that many people, right? So you were just doing everything yourself.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you find out that this is not going to work long term. So you've been involving me and a lot of other people. So I would say that it was really smart that you kind of met everyone and start sending out. So people out there, try to kind of like maybe do something similar, get out there, meet people, and then
come here and meet people here.
Exactly.
So that's why, as you said, a space like this where if you could just get creatives come and go, it will be really beneficial, because at some point you will have either too much job to do, or you wanted to do something else. Maybe you want to do a passion project and you have earned enough money that month to pay your bills. So instead of like taking another client, you want to do something else. And if you can then still send someone and have them shoot it and edit it and then send it to you, and you can send it to the client, the next time the client will call you instead of calling the guy they used last time. So then maybe in 2 months, maybe you have the time and you need that client, you still have it because you solved their problem once, and then they will call you again. So that's like, for instance, I got a pretty big network through when I was working at Russeres, and they're now probably one of our biggest clients in the normal studios.
Mhm.
We work with them on a regular basis through the whole year, and also we have a company called Backstage who do some brand activization and stuff, and that's like the guys that run that company. One of them was my colleague in Rustedes, and the other was a colleague of us in another brand or another company that was working in the same industry.
Mhm.
And those guys came back to us or back to me later now so we still work together. So there's a lot of networking from back in the days when I was hired that I earn money from now.
Yeah,
That's
as a
clients.
creator.
Yeah, as a creator. So that's also really nice.
So people out there, try to find someone around you. Surround yourself with good people. Come to Amigos Creative Space.
Swing by.
Swing by. This is like what makes
Pedro and I is currently living here.
pretty much. So nothing makes me more happy than when I came here and I see 2-3 people. Some people playing video game, the other one asking the other one how much I should charge this client. The other one thinking like, yeah, should we go shoot this thing? So sometimes I come here, it's 4 or 5 people discussing things, and I think that's
And you don't know who they are.
I don't know who they
No,
are. And then I
perfect.
met them the first time, and then we start talking. And this is what I wanted to have when I moved to Oslo, probably what you had when you were working at your living room. So this is what we hope that Amigos become in the future, that people come more and more and more.
And then you can come and we can hang you on the wall as well on
Exactly.
our wall of fame, as we call
Polaroid
it.
Wall of Fame.
Polaroid Wall of Fame. It's just big athletes there.
Let me see here on my list, because Tim has done a lot of things. And let's say, what would you do differently, Tim, if you had to start today? You had a really short career compared to many others, but it's still, you have gone through a lot through this short amount of time because you grinded so much. But if you had to start today, what would you do differently from 4 or 5 years ago when you started?
I think I would try to get to know more creatives earlier, so that for the first you can learn to like price yourself right, and also you can get help when you need instead of working 7 days a week. And
Try to find what you do yourself.
So that work for sure you have to, if you want to climb the ladder fast, or if you want your career to take off, you gotta work a lot. You gotta work all the time. You gotta put holidays aside. You gotta put aside pretty much everything to put in the work. But I will for sure try to like meet more creatives earlier and find someone I could that I could trust to send on different jobs earlier.
You didn't have to do everything yourself,
instead
right?
of doing everything myself. Yeah, because I see now that it's kind of like what we tell when we see work like with an influencer. Okay, if we help them, they could do 2 jobs that day. But if they wanted to do everything themselves, they can only do one job. So maybe they spend this amount of money, but then they earn almost twice as much because they got help. And that's the mentality. It's really easy to tell that to the clients, but it's hard to do it yourself
In the beginning.
In the beginning, yeah. Also because I think in the beginning you're a little bit afraid of like, okay, if I send someone, maybe then the client will just call them next time, and then they're gone, and then I lose that one. So I just do it myself instead.
You were a bit afraid of kind of losing the client.
Yeah, I think that as well as liking to have control of both like the shoot and the edit, and so that if something goes wrong, I know it's me and not someone else. So then I know I can just put in 5 more hours to make it good. If the clock, even though if the clock's been 4 a.m.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But how was it for you? Because I personally experienced some problems in the beginning when I was a bit in the beginning as well, immature, that I was sending people out because I wanted to get the clients, but the people I was sending was probably not good enough and kind of get into trouble. How did you do at the beginning, like to go over that fear and start sending people out? Like, did you have any problems, or the people that you were sending out, they were good enough, never like backfired you at some point?
No, it's pretty much been good.
Good
But it's probably because we've been so picky on
who to send.
who to send. It took forever before I started like
Mhm.
sending you guys as well. Even though I know you guys are way capable of
of
doing
it.
this thing, but still, I'm like, again, I need to have control over this.
Mm.
But yeah, they just had to. It's more my own mindset. That's the
Mm.
problem than the guys I'm sending, because they
Mm.
are usually more than enough.
Qualified for the
Yeah, overqualified.
I
When
remember
you are leaving, like we have, for instance, when we are working with Russes, you worked with them a couple times for us,
yeah.
and I have to like tell them like, okay, me and Henrik are busy, so we can't do it, but I can send this guy. He works for Red Bull. He's traveled to Brazil. Shoot with Neymar. No more. He can do everything. He got this. So I just had to like tell them. Yeah, he's like about like he's been to. They send him to Brazil. He's been creating content with Neymar. So this guy, he's legit. Okay,
you can trust it.
Yeah, you can trust him. I could probably say I can't. Pedro is coming. That would probably be enough, but I still had to tell him that no worries, this is taken care of. Yeah.
Because I remember once you sent me, it was so funny. You sent me to Barum, like 30 minutes away from Oslo, that it was such a random, they were going to build up something, and you were just like,
yeah,
put your 360 cameras around and click it for time lapse. You can go, and you come back 3 hours later or 4, and you just pick it up the camera. And then I was thinking, this is actually really scary. Like, it looks like a really easy job, but I remember I put like a extra charger, like a power bank into every single camera, because they could suddenly die.
Yeah.
And I put more than I should, because if one die, it's impossible that 6 Insta360 is gonna die.
Yeah,
probably one or two could die, but the other, but like I was a bit like, it's such a random job, but in the same time,
it's really hard.
It's not that it's hard, but a responsibility that you send me there to do a time lapse of a building a thing. They're not gonna build that again. It was hundreds of thousands of kilos, that thing. They were 4 hours building, and then you come back like, sorry, I didn't get the footage. Can you build again? Right? So that, just like when you send me, I was like, he trusts me for this. It's looks like an easy job for many people that don't understand. And that's when I think it's the mistake, because they could think, oh, this is really easy. I just click film and go, come back 4 hours later. So that point, I was like, he trusts me. Not because you can send me to like a big influencer. I think this little time lapse is something that it's so easy that it's so dangerous in the same thing, because you need that shot for your video.
Yeah,
you were at the same time filming somewhere, right?
Yeah, it was like this. It was the start of the whole building this container who's supposed to have a car inside, and it was for the client. It was really important to show the process. So this container came into Oslo Central Station, where the train goes, and should be lifted off this trailer. But they, as you said, they built it out in Bærum,
and then brought
it in, and then kept building it there. The rest of the inside and everything, but the assembly of from the start was really important to show that this piece come back together, and it's supposed to be quick to set up.
Exactly,
but it took forever.
Yeah.
I think that day that they were going to finish it, I was driving back and forth to Oslo 3 times, because it was supposed to be finished at a certain point, which was, I think it was like 6 o'clock. The last time when I left, they had driven the car inside. It wasn't finished, but they drove it inside. And then the clock was 2 a.m.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
it was an important project, but that's what I mean. Like, I was a bit nervous. I didn't get nervous with Neymar, but I got nervous with yours. But that was a good thing, because the Insta360 has to deliver. I was a bit worried, but I plugged it with external battery, like a V mount from Small Rig, and then it just keep it charging, and then it filmed for 4 or 5 hours, no problem. But it was a risky business in case someone go and then touch the camera, they move away, right? So at that time, I was like, okay, now Tim trusts me. He can send me everywhere. So it's important, the trust between two people before you send out.
Yeah.
That was a mistake that I myself did in the beginning. I sent people too early and lost a couple of clients here and there because they didn't deliver. But that's because they didn't do what you did. You came out, you help out for free in the beginning, then I get to know you, then I could trust you to send. The other people, I saw their work through the
Instagram,
internet. Yeah. And I met them. They looks like nice people, but you don't know when to actually work with them closely, right?
And you don't know even if what they have posted, if they have edited it themselves or if they just did the part thing.
Yeah.
And then there was a bigger team, and then they just
there's a lot of things.
So you need to let's say work with the best thing is like as I did for you, like show up and work together on something, and then okay, this guy, okay, I see that when we are out working, he's running around, he's getting the shot, and more than that, but see that he's actually working when he's supposed
100%.
to be. Yeah.
And the one thing I want to mention that was really nice when I worked with you, and now we were recently in last year in Nice and France as well. One thing that I see a lot of people when they help they always quite complaining about this, about that. And one thing from you that you never complain, no matter the situation. For Tim is always good.
Always good.
That's a good thing I would say, because no matter the situation, like in Nice, for example, we were filming Blumenfeld, right? Which Christian is a Red Bull athlete. He's one of the best. He's a beast, right? And then I try to save money here and there, right? And then it's not because it's Red Bull; they had a bunch of money, so we rented a car, which is a good car.
Yeah,
but we didn't know how fast it was going with the bike. Remember?
Yeah, we should have had a Ferrari for that one.
So then we rent like fucking Seat. I don't even know the thing, which was a nice car to go around.
Yeah,
but not to follow him on the bike. No. He was going faster than us.
Yeah, we had a hard time keeping
any
up.
Single moment you complain about the car, like I put the bike in the car and you find a sports mode, and then we just continue to go fast and then film him. And was a cheap hotel a bit outside, right? So it's not. People think like you travel with Red Bull, it's nice hotel.
Hotel.
Sometimes you are a 5-star hotel, but sometimes like this is the budget. Go get it, boy.
Yeah, go get it, boy. Good luck.
Right? So then I kind of hire you to come with the job, and then we did the whole thing. It was an amazing trip.
Yeah.
But so of course it was a lot of challenges, and for not a single moment you say, was better if we had a better car or something, right? So this is something that I would like to have in the beginning. People that was coming out to help, that was, but this is that or this, like, what if you complain about the car was not going to switch to a Ferrari, right?
No, it's too late now. This is what we got. So you just gotta work with it. You gotta make it work.
Yeah, I would say it's a really nice quality. Like when I work with you, that you never complain.
Yeah.
So you out there watching,
remember that.
You can complain, you can comment, but not like be too negative. So you never been negative about any situation, and that's why you are where you are today.
Yeah,
you were really successful with your company in such a short amount of time. You now have Henrik, probably we have more people, we have Amigos together.
Yeah.
I don't know, now you are entrepreneur, have so many business, you know.
So now I'm working 24/7 again.
Exactly.
Now
right?
That's why I said now the balance is off.
So what is next for Tim?
What's next? Next will be to actually try to land more of the brands I dreamed of working with earlier.
What are those brands? That's manifest.
Yeah,
so
it's more like a sports fashion thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be like the end goal is to work with more sports related things, but also not necessarily like alpine skiing or football, but brands that are connected to the sports.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, Red Bull is a huge goal of mine that I can check off thanks to you that I've been working with. You sent me and Henrik to Kvitfjell to work with Van Der, for instance. That was we were like, holy shit, did we make it now, or did we have it now? We made it now. And then that week also we were like working with Van Der for 2 or 3 days in Kvitfjell. And drove straight down to Moss to shoot for Polestar through Kyle and this Perspective guys. So me and Hank was like, yeah, now we made it. And then we were pretty dead after that. But I think working with like maybe
more of those kind of work.
Yeah, more of those kind of work. So it could be like, for instance, clothing for like, I have a big passion for mine is skiing. So there's a brand called Bugner who makes a pretty high-end luxury expensive alpine ski clothing, and that would be like one of my goals to like work for, not necessarily that one, but a brand like them. And for like you have douchebags, the bag companies. Yes, I told you have Red Bull. You have people like Jon Olsson, who will be a lot of fun to work with. So that's more kind of like where I want to go now that I can kind of relax. So last year was revenue wise was like good, like the best one of 3 years. But this year I'm trying to focus. I never focused on the money, but that's the more you earn, the funnier it gets.
Exactly.
But this year I tried to not think so much about it, because when I started, I never thought about, okay, I'm going to make this amount, I'm going to make this amount. Okay, I have to make 1 million this year. But I'll kind of like try to put that aside again and try to focus on, I want to do this thing and this thing and this thing. And if you do the things you want, and you can work with the brands you want, like the money is just the bonus. It will come if you do the things you love. The money will come in somehow. So yeah, the next goal will be to like land more of those type of clients, but that's a tough one.
Yeah,
because everyone wants to work with
exactly.
them. So,
but like you say, like everybody has something different, right? So you gotta be at the right place at the right time, or reach out, or you're gonna find a way somehow. And
that's probably also why I say yes to everything, because I know that, okay, if I show up at that event, suddenly there's one guy there who's the key decision maker in one of these brands, and then occasionally, but suddenly you're actually working for like
you never know who's gonna be there, right?
No, you never know who you meet. So that's also why it's important to be nice, because you never know who you're talking to and what role they have. You can look like a guy and think, he's probably just like working down at the desk or something, and then this suddenly the CEO of like this big company or big brand. You're like, whoa, shit, is that guy? Is that guy? Oh, I should have been nicer.
My shot.
Yeah.
So you would say like network is a really, really like important thing.
Yeah, for sure. It's probably who you know and who you blow. Mostly.
For sure. That's a good one. But nice, Tim. So now I would like you to give you kind of like your final words for people watching and listening out there. What would be your advice for those starting out, or those that kind of been doing for a while but looking to improve their content creation, but also their business, which is also really important?
Yeah, I think for sure, even if you're starting out early or if you're starting out late, you need to put in the hours, and it's a lot of them. And you need to set, if you want it to happen like fast, you need to put things aside and you need to focus on only the thing. But I think like networking and being kind and meeting a lot of people, it's probably one of the most important things. So as I did to you, ask if you can join people for help them out. If I can help, if you have a shoot, need help, just call me. I'll show up. If I'll shoot some behind the scenes of you doing the job, so you can put it on your social media, or if you actually need a second shooter, but the budget is not there, it doesn't matter. Just getting out there, helping people. Because also when I joined you at the shoot for FFK, and I saw how you placed the lighting, so that next time if I have something, need to do something similar, I know, okay, Pedro put the light there, a light there, a light there. It turned out like this. And one of that photo is I used that photo as a profile picture since that day.
Every time you call me, it comes in my photo.
So and then so I think just get out there and use the equipment as much as possible. That's also why I worked my skill set really improved a lot the first year, because I think I was using camera every single day for
so
365
you would say
days.
that like putting the hours,
it's
the key thing. It's like the most important.
And especially for me, who's starting out late and kind of started to build a career in somewhere else, and then in the late 20s figured out, no, I want to build another career, but now I need to make up for the last 10 years. So if you're starting out late, you need to put in a couple extra hours
for a period, right?
For a period,
you can chill.
maybe for a year or 2 years, 3 years. But if you do put it in now, I can promise you can relax later. So just it's better to do it now than to have to do it to put it out over like 10 years period. So I would say to put in the hours and
I agree.
yeah.
People out there, put their
Put-
put the hours out. Go get the camera, go shoot something. Just put yourself out there. So
show up everywhere.
show up.
Yeah.
That's
Talk
the
to
words
people.
not from me, from Tim. So take it because that's the thing that he say. A lot of good things here, Tim. I'm sure a lot of people out there got inspired by your story. That, like you say, is never too late to start. You were an example, and hope you everyone out there enjoy this episode. It was a special episode for us, for Amigos Creative
Yeah.
Space, Amigos Pod. You are part of everything. So
Now the
thanks
entire
for
gang is here.
yes. So now we have interview pretty much everyone from
Yeah, that's
Amigos.
nice.
Just AI, the one behind
Yeah,
there,
the
the desk.
producer is need
The
to.
producer don't want to sit here, you know. He
Hmm.
want to be behind. He want to keep it low key, but we're gonna get him.
Yeah, eventually.
We're gonna get.
I'm
him
gonna.
up
I
here.
can sit there for 1 hour if he sits there. It's so
He's
fine.
Bill.
I can push record
the
because I
button.
don't know what else I can do back there.
But Tim, thanks a lot for taking the time to be
thank
here
you.
with us.
It was a lot
And
of fun.
we're gonna have you back probably in a couple of years when you
Yeah.
reach the top where you say work with all those brands
Yeah,
that
then I
that
can
you
come back
wanted.
and tell you what I
Tell
did.
the story.
Yeah.
Like, how did you work with Moncler? Or it's gonna be a nice.
Yeah,
But
I'm
thanks,
looking
Tim,
forward to it.
for the time.
Thank you.
And everyone out there, remember to subscribe at the YouTube channel. You're gonna help us a lot here to push the podcast forward. Every week we're gonna be posting the episodes, so stay tuned for next week's episode, which is gonna be Marius, our good friend. So subscribe and hope you keep listening to us every week at Spotify, Apple, and all the platforms. So stay tuned and see you the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you.
Nice.